What's going on, everybody? This is Aaron Forex Scott shooting this video. Today is the 12th, 2021, January the 12th, 2021. First of all, Happy New Year's to everybody. Hopefully, you're not allowing the outside noise to interfere with your ultimate goals, not letting it get in the way of your ultimate focus, therefore reaching the goals and making sure that you're taking the right steps towards your dream within whatever journey that you're on. But if you're watching this video right now, we have been watching Bitcoin. If you're a fan of Bitcoin, shout out to you. Bitcoin is the biggest or the largest cryptocurrency there is. There is 7 financial markets in the game: stocks, forex, cryptocurrencies, metals, indices, futures, commodities. There's many actual markets that you can trade in, but the cryptocurrency market has been of high demand within the last few months or the last couple of years. A lot of people are starting to open their eyes to the financial markets itself, but the cryptocurrency, the digital era, is now here. A lot of people have made multi-millions of dollars based off of the growth of Bitcoin, the volatility of Bitcoin, and the amount of money that is in the market, whether you're buying it and holding it, or like me, whether you're trading it. So yesterday, if you've been watching and following, Bitcoin reached an all-time high. I believe last March, it was at $3,000 a coin. Just yesterday, it was at $40,000 a coin, which gives people the opportunity to invest in Bitcoin. And you can take it as the simplest of ways in buying Bitcoin in your Cash App. But what I'm gonna show you today is not just buying the actual coin or buying shares of the value of the coin and hoping that the value goes up. Because today, within the last 24 hours, the value of Bitcoin went from 40 plus $1,000 a coin all the way back down to $30,000 a coin. That is a $10,000 a coin decrease. And a lot of people saw it. A lot of people were saying it was the crash of Bitcoin and all of that nonsense. That's a whole nother video. But traders like us inside of the Winner Circle Effects Traders Group, we take advantage of major moves in the market. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna briefly, throughout the team, we have a private chat. I'm gonna show you in the chat that we started around 3 o'clock. And I told the team that the Bitcoin was sitting on an order block of support. It was sitting on major support after the major crash that happened. And we're going to try to take advantage of the retracement, of the pullback, of the value to start to go up in value. So we're trading it on a foreign exchange market. Therefore, we can trade it whether it goes up or down. So we're not actually buying the coin, but we're trading it in the market. And I'm gonna pull up the charts to show you exactly what I was looking at, to show you the level of experience that we have inside of the group. Not only myself, we got other people in the group that was watching Bitcoin. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Jay Bogan. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to Lolly. Shout out to everybody that participated in the last 5 to 6 hours, because we accumulated well over 20,000 points altogether based off of trade entries from the levels that we saw on the chart. So I'm gonna just go through the chat real quick. I don't want to hold y'all too long, but I'm gonna go through the chat to show you right here. I was saying Bitcoin was sitting on the order block. I gave the actual chart, that way they can see what I was looking at. And from there, Lolly jumped in. She was already starting to look at the chart. A few people jumped in as well. Juan jumped in as well, gave his analysis. Jay Bogan gave his analysis. We sent some screenshots, and we were up in profit. Not only did we get up in profit on the first entry. This is Jay Bogan. Shout out to him. He sent out another signal or a potential trade setup for US 30, S&P, Bitcoin on sales. We caught multiple entries. Here's a before picture of the first entry. Here's an after picture of the first entry. I'm gonna pull up the chart so you can see it in real time. But we basically sniped Bitcoin on the minute chart. On the minute chart. I know a lot of traders out there saying that you should not trade in the minute chart, and I advise you not to as well, unless you have the level of experience to where you can snipe the minute chart. We have some snipers in the group. Shout out to the Sniper Kings FX. We got a lot of snipers in the group. Shout out to the team. But there's a level of experience to where you got to know where you're at. You got to know what you're looking at in order to trade based off of the minute chart. Now, being that Bitcoin is very volatile, you can make the bank or break the bank. on a higher time frame with if you have a little bit of money in your account. So when you're dealing with higher volatility markets, we tend to go down to the lower time frame because we want to catch the best entry. Therefore, we're not falling in the drawdown, heavy drawdown on a high volatile market. We want to make sure that we're getting in, and if we're getting in, we're getting at a great spot. That way, we can have a close top loss and potentially put us directly into profit. So not only did we catch one, I'm gonna just scroll down. I don't because it's a lot. We started at 5, so we went through a lot of analysis. Shout out to Jay Boger, man. It's a pit party. We had a whole pit party in the group today. Shout out to Christian. We got other people that was in the team that were just riding with us. Take profit hit on the Nasdaq, the US 30, and the S&P. I was up 100 pips off of that trade, but here's the second trade that we had on Bitcoin. I said it may be on the move again. This is a very potential, very important zone. We created a trend channel. We broke the trend channel. So we ended up getting in again. We had about five or so entries. Shout out to Lamar. He said, got to get home. Y'all got to jump in. Yeah, we had a whole pit party into the group. So shout out to the team. It's great when you have a team that you can trade with. You're not alone. That way you can have more eyes on the market. You can watch the market. Sniper King. Shout out to the Sniper Kings. I said Bitcoin's about to boom again. Notice we got multiple entries. It pulled up. It pulled back. This is our third entry, I believe. It pulled back again. We had a fourth entry coming in. And it basically boomed in our direction once again. Up 3,000 points, which is 300 pips in 5 minutes. Then it went up to 500 pips in 10 minutes. It continued to boom. We had over 7,000 pips on Bitcoin alone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the chart. I'm gonna draw out the chart. I'm gonna show you what I was looking at. I'm gonna give you some sauce, and I'm gonna give you a way to where you can access our team and get private mentorship from 6-figure snipers in the game. So I'm gonna pull up another chart. I'm gonna pull up my chart real quick. Let me do another screen share. Give me just a second. All right, hopefully you guys can see my screen. We're on Bitcoin right now. This is the major move to the downside. Now, if you were watching this, you could have caught this move. The PET system, shout out to the perfect entry trading system. It gave us signals for this sell way before it happened. But even if you're just a technical trader, there's simple ways that you could have mapped this out. You could have put a trend line right here and waited for the break. Here go your break, and then it continuously dropped forward. Now what we're looking at is multiple zones on the chart. Right now I'm on a 15 minute, so I'm gonna focus on the very bottom. This is our 15-minute zone that we saw. This was the first entry that we caught. I'm not gonna go into detail on what we were looking at based on the institutional zones, but you can see that it broke the zone. It retested the zone, created a trend channel. We boxed and tracked the market in. We had a break. Once we got this break, these zones up here wasn't even up here yet. We just was focused on the zone, this break. It came here to a zone. I'm not going to pinpoint where we got this zone from, but notice I'm going to go down to the minute chart because this is what we were doing it at. And I'm going to show you how effective and how precise we can be in our trading journey. I've been trading for about 3 years now. We have people in the group that have been trading for about 2 to 3 years as well. So there's a lot of things that we've learned along our journey. I'm trying to find the break of that low because that's what we started at. It's somewhere in here. Where is the market at? There you go. All right, so notice we got the break of the trend line. We had a retest. We are already in the market here. We're getting into the trade. We notice we got a break and a retest of a zone. The zone came back down. And this is where we entered the market here for the second trade based off of the zone. So now we have 2 trades in profit. Notice we got a pullback here. It pulled all the way back. We got a break and a retest here. This is our third entry coming in this area. Because these zones, I'm painting these zones. It's hard to explain it because you already see the zones as I'm doing the video. But I was painting these zones as we were moving further up in profit. These zones were not at the top. Only zone I had was here. We had the retest of the zone. We got back into the entry. When this pulled back, we got back into the zone here. This zone wasn't even painted until we got this pullback here, and it came back into the market here. So I created the zone. So if we was to get the pullback in the zone, we were going to be able to get another entry. That's exactly what happened. We stalled a little bit. I painted another zone somewhere in this area. This one came down and draw down just a little bit, but then it went back further into profit. Now, what it did was it pulled back. Again, we caught some sell orders based off of this small scalp here. But once it got back into this zone that we painted before, we caught another entry back up to the upside. And here you have an ultimate pullback to the zone once again. These zones was already painted. It came directly back into our zone. And then we started the process all over again. Notice here, came back into the zone again. There's another entry to the upside. Notice what we have here. We have a trend channel back into our zone. And boom, we've utilized this zone about 3 or 4 times already. Look at this move out of the zone. This is Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. So the things that we're going to be teaching our teams in 221 is how to trade with institutional zones, not supply and demand, not support and resistance. I mean, those play a part in it as well. It is something similar to that, but this is different. This is more advanced support and resistance. This is advanced level supply and demand, your accumulation, your distribution. You can even throw in your wick-off logic and the ways that the market moves. But once you understand the institutional zones and you know where the major orders are being accumulated so that major moves, the banks, the major movers in the market, you know where they're resting at. You know where they're sleeping at. You know what they are pinpointing. Therefore, you can follow them. You know, you can be a retail trader. You do not have to trade like a retail trader. We're currently coming out of the zone now, and now you can see this is real time. Installed in our zone. We're waiting for this to break the zone. Again, we're going to create another. This is a 4-hour zone. These zones that I have below it are 1 minute zones. This is a 4-hour zone. Notice how long it stayed in that zone. So we're waiting for this 4-hour zone to break. If it goes above this 4-hour zone and it retests, we can look for Bitcoin to get back to $40,000 a share. It was $40,000 a share yesterday. It dropped all the way down to $30,000 a share. My team, me, myself, and the team, we sniped it all the way back up to hopefully 40,000 a share. So shout out to my Bitcoin holders out there. Shout out to my Bitcoin 6-figure earners, hopefully in this year, multi-million-dollar earners, not only within this group, but within this space. There's enough money in this market for all of us to make a lot of money, for all of us to become 6- and 7-figure traders. We don't have to compete. We can work together. So shout out to the team that trades together, stays together. Hopefully, if you're not a part of the Winner Circle group, if you're not a part of Epic, which in my eyes, I've been a part of numerous academies. This academy is straightforward. It's going to give you the sauce. It's going to give you more than enough tools, more than enough value, and more than enough signals that you can handle. So if you're a part of the team, shout out to you. Let's get to this money. Let's get to the bag. Let's make 2021 a year to remember. If you're not a part of the team, come join with us. Therefore, we can teach you key strategies that you can add to your trading journey. If you're brand new, we're going to give you everything you need from day one. Therefore, you don't have to go through the trial and error like I did. We're going to teach you the strategies that you need to know. We're going to teach you the zones and what to look for in the market. Therefore, you can start earning money as soon as possible. Shout out to the team. Shout out to you. Been watching this video this long. Hopefully you have an amazing 2020. I'll see you in the next video.